How appropriate is it that our intro ends with Whiff Roasters, who is our first sponsor of the Lancaster official sponsor?
Official sponsor, yeah.
Gardner's Lancaster Connects podcast show.
Gardner's has been the sponsor, the default sponsor.
The more appropriate term is benefactor.
Yeah, right.
We have been the generous benefactor,
Yes.
of Lancaster Connects for 100 and, 13, 12.
Yeah.
And there's season 1 episodes that we don't count on that.
We don't.
But anyway, yeah. So Whiff Roasters there was our last little snippet in our intro. And we're pleased to have them as our first official sponsor. And so all month long, we're raffling off a gift basket from them. It's $100 value.
Ooh.
And
It's about 100 pounds of coffee.
Ben just got a little pressed in his oblique there, it seemed, lifting up the big box and basket of coffee. And so if you want to enter to win, you go to lancasterconnects.com/contest. And it's real simple. It's name and email, and that's one entry. You share it on social media. That's a couple more. Subscribe on YouTube, even more. I think there's like a total of 15 entries you can make in total.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yep.
That's pretty darn good for glancing at it like 2 weeks ago. But yeah, there's the prize basket. So we love their coffee here. It's like a battle for when we put the K-Cups out. It's a battle for dirty banana, and we've had pumpkin pecan.
Pecan, baby.
That's the new one. There's 3 Amigos. There's Kick Butt. I'm keeping it G-rated. There's Bonfire, chocolate raspberry, house blend, breakfast blend. It's really great. And, they're Lititz' hometown coffee roaster. And they make really great coffee. It's not all created equal. We definitely know that. You always know when you have good coffee, when you have bad coffee. You know when you got bad coffee because you're like, oh my God, this is like fuel oil. It's awful. Or it's really weak. It just has no taste.
Right.
So since 1999, Whiff Roasters has been proud to be a local favorite for specialty coffees. They've got a uniqueness that's simple, and they set this high standard for bean quality, which is really where great coffee comes from, right? It's not in the water per se. It's not in the temperature per se. It's in all the bean quality, freshness in the roast. And they do all that. And that allows them to create a perfectly consistent, incredible bag of coffee, bag after bag after bag, cup after cup, K-Cup after K-Cup. They make it all. And that's Whiff Roasters. And we love them for that.
Yeah. And all month long, Whiff was very kind to give us, I don't know if you can see this here, pumpkin pecan portion pack. So this portion pack is 1 full pot of coffee. So, a number of cups, 10 cups, something like that, 12 cups of coffee. And pumpkin pecan is amazing. I've got some in my cup here. It's really good. We had a number of K-Cups here that we brought in for the store. And I had to, I think we had 3 boxes and 2 of them are completely gone. So like in a week,
we had to ration it.
These vultures devoured the pumpkin pecan, but
the only way in which our sales team was vulture-like.
Yes.
Not with you, our customer, here at the store.
Good point.
At Gardner's Mattress and More. But with the K-Cups, absolutely.
Yep. All month long, just stop by Gardner's Mattress and More. You get a free pumpkin pecan portion pack, courtesy of Whiff Roasters, our October Lancaster Connect sponsor. So free coffee. I mean, who doesn't want free coffee?
That's right.
Yeah.
I'll tell you who could have used, I'll tell you what. Here's something to talk about, and I'm really on to this for next year. So my wife and I were at Fall Fest yesterday at Overlook Park.
Big event.
I-105 puts it on. Big event. Dustin Lynch was the headliner. My wife's going to kill me for saying this, but she don't watch. Dustin Lynch looks like the cowboy on every romance novel that she reads on Kindle. So I think there was a special little twinkle in Miss Janakovo's eye. For Dustin Lynch.
Tell her when she's here tomorrow.
She's going to kill me for this. But anyway, he's a good act. I really like Joe Nichols. He's been around for a while. Had great food, barbecue, gyros, French fries, shakes, milkshakes, all kinds of things.
But it was cold.
No coffee anywhere. No hot chocolate anywhere.
That seems to be a huge oversight. I mean, I guess they can't plan in advance how cold or warm it's going to be.
Especially since a convenience store chain. I'm going to leave them out because Whiff was our sponsor. But Matt, maybe there's a co-brand opportunity for a coffee truck. Whiff Roasters, looking at you. Every cup sponsored by Gardner's Mattress and More.
Oh, yeah.
Fueled by Whiff Roasters. I don't know. We'll see.
There might be something there.
But there's an opportunity there, man. I'm telling you what. Because you could extend it beyond coffee. You could have hot chocolate. You could have pumpkin spice latte. All kinds of stuff.
Did you just call it Cuffy? I think you might have said Cuffy.
No.
Lindsay had a boss years ago.
Go to the
20
tape
years ago. We go to the tape. Yeah. Throw the flag. See the tape. Lindsay had a boss years ago. It's like 20 years ago that called it Cuffy. And that is just stuck with me. But I would have thought
Cuffy man.
I would have thought that would have been the most popular vendor.
Yeah.
Considering how cold and windy it was.
Well, there was booze. Well, there's a lot of booze there. That can warm you up.
Well, can't there be like infused coffee?
Sure.
You know, a couple little Baileys in there.
Sure. All that good stuff. So, hit us up if you want to think about a co-brand thing for next year's Fall Fest. Anyhow, before we move on to our wonderful guest, Kelly Osborne, a little bit of other community news. So this comes through, this came through my email, but if you want to get on the show official, go to LancasterConnects.com and there's a tab, Be on the Show. If you want to be a guest, if you're a local hero doing great, charity that's doing great for our community, or a business that has a culture giving back, you can go to LancasterConnects.com/guest. But under that same tab is Be on the Show, and you can submit your news for the community. And we'll take a look at it. And if it's a fit for the show, we'll read it off just like we are now for Team Jennifer Cahill Charities. So Team Jennifer Cahill was on way back in the Lancaster Connect archives. And they're doing a trunk or treat and all you can eat spaghetti dinner. And this one kind of has a near and dear place to my heart at the Ephrata AmVets. Because as a single gentleman in my bachelor pad days with my buddies, we would often walk down the street to the AmVets. Funny enough, I remember all the walks there. I remember none of the walks home. And so there'll be more fun for family and children there with this trunk or treat and spaghetti dinner. That is happening Sunday, October 21st from 4 to 7. Menus, spaghetti, red sauce, meatball, 2 meatballs, salad, beverage, and dessert. Tickets are only $12 for adults. Children 12 and under are $7. And you can call Denise or Mike, and I'll give Denise's number, 717-715-3933, or Mike at 717-371-3035. Tickets are available at the door, and then the trunk or treats afterwards from 5 to 8 on the same day. So it's the season for trunk and treating, which is a whole new thing. But back in the day, we had to traipse around in plastic PVC costumes
with a little slit,
face slits that you gave yourself a wound to your eyeball, which is why I wasn't on the show last week. You were here now
trying on Halloween costumes last week.
Yeah, well, not in the same fashion, but yeah. Now the kids they get to go to a parking lot and the adults drive the candy to them with these trunk and treat things.
That's true. That's true. Yep.
So at any rate, if that's your thing though, trunk and treats, decorate your trunk, kids get candy. 21st, 5 to 8 at the AmVets, spaghetti dinner before. Team Jennifer Cahill Charities. I'm sure if you Google them, everything will come up. All right.
Yep. Sounds like a great event.
That's community news. Yep. So speaking of good people doing good things in our community, time to welcome Kelly.
Yeah, let's do it. Hey, Kelly.
Hi.
Kelly represents the Pilot Club of Lancaster, which has nothing to do with aviation. For those not familiar with the Pilot Club, we'll get into all the great things that Kelly and the Pilot Club is doing. Kelly, we like to bring our guests on and have a little bit of an icebreaker question before we dig into the meat of what you're doing. So 2023 is kind of wrapping up. We got 2.5 months left or so, almost 3 months. Anything kind of on your radar that you'd like to accomplish before the year wraps up and we start that new year?
Well, I've accomplished a lot this year. I retired from my 25-year career in January. And
congratulations.
I kind of moved right over from that to my volunteer work with several nonprofits, the Pilot Club being one of them. This year kind of flew by. I can't believe I've been retired 10 months already, but I'm having a great time, and I'm loving the retirement life, and I highly recommend it to everyone.
Well, that's fantastic. I mean, congrats to you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And I'm the same thing. Like, I didn't retire, but 10 months, 10 months have just like flown by. It's
Yeah.
been, crazy, from like kid stuff to work stuff and, this podcast. And it's like, I can't believe we're like 2 months away from Christmas already.
Right. I know. I feel like my calendar has been filled up, and I didn't even get to go on a vacation yet this year. So.
Oh, you got to do that. Do you have any? Well, maybe that's another icebreaker question. Do you have a vacation planned?
I want to go to England in the spring and visit Scotland and visit my son down in Florida a few times. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's a good one to do by the end of the year, because it'll be nice down there.
Yeah, right.
I know,
true.
My calendar is booked with all these events coming up. This is the busy season.
Yeah. Well, so on that note, with all the events and the busy season, so you're busy with the Pilot Club of Lancaster. So share with us what the Pilot Club does, what it's all about, and what your role there is.
Okay, great. So the Pilot Club of Lancaster has actually been in Lancaster since 1947. So we're in our 76th year. We were chartered in 1947. We are a 501c3. And we're a volunteer service club, like the Rotary Club, the Lions Club. Prior to 2019, I had never heard of the Pilot Club. And I have, I was born and raised in Lancaster County. I worked in Lancaster County for over 2 decades, and I just never heard of the club, never heard of the programs that, the signature program that I'm going to talk about today, never heard of that. And so I feel like how the chain of events happened, it was something that, was kind of meant to be. And the club is just my passion, and their signature service project, which is Project Lifesaver, is my passion project. So the club is we are part of an international club, which Pilot International was chartered in 1921. And it started with a group of women that were homemakers that wanted to do some service to their community to help folks in their community and make it a better place for families. And the pilot symbol comes from the riverboats. So the mission statement is "True Course Ever." So no, we have nothing to do with airplanes, nothing to do with aviation at all. It is actually the wheel of the riverboat.
And not even really anything to do with riverboats, other than riverboats were certainly more popular back in the day.
Yes. And the mission statement is "True Course Ever." And and back at that time when it was formed, they were popular, and it has the club has grown. It is an international club. We have groups in the Bahamas. We have pilot clubs in Japan. Every year they have an annual conference. This past year it was out in Bellevue, Washington. I was planning to go, but my flight got canceled due to the weather, the storms. So I missed it, but next year it'll be in Colorado. So I do plan on going there. So like I said, I had never heard of this club, heard of the Rotary Club, heard of the Lions Club, and those type of service clubs. They give scholarships to graduating seniors. They do a lot of service projects. And back in 2019, late 2019, my father passed away, and he suffered from dementia for several years. And he was living in an assisted living facility. And his dementia was progressing, and I knew that I would have to get him into memory care, because where he was living was not memory care. And I had just changed positions at my workplace. So I was in a new role, and my schedule was more flexible. And I was in an office and had a lot of different duties than I had for the first 20 years. So I was acclimating to my new position, and it was a Friday afternoon, I think, October 18th, 2019. I was checking my messages on my voicemail, and I had a message from a sheriff's department in Cape May, New Jersey. And I couldn't quite make out all of the message, but it said, I could make out Project Lifesaver, Cape May, New Jersey, and, give me a call back. I have some questions. So again, I had never heard of Project Lifesaver and never heard of the Pilot Club. And I just jotted down the number, and I thought, I'll call back on Monday. I wanted to get out of the office for the weekend. And then the very next day, my father died. He wandered from his personal care home, and he was found dead. And that was not the first time that he had wandered away. He had gotten lost driving a few years earlier, and he had wandered from that facility at least one other time back in June of 2019. And he was found walking along a highway, a busy highway. So that happened. And when I got back into the office, either the end of that week or the next week, I was returning my phone messages, and I called the guy back from the sheriff from Cape May, New Jersey. And I said, I apologize. I was out of the office. I had a death in the family, just, returning some calls. He's like, oh, you can disregard. The client is back in New Jersey. And I said, well, I didn't quite understand your message. I'm not sure what you were calling about. And he started to tell me about Project Lifesaver. And when he was telling me about this program, I got chills. I was like, the universe is telling me, like, you have to learn more about this program. You have to get involved in this program. So more about Project Lifesaver. Project Lifesaver is an international nonprofit, and they are based out of Chesapeake, Virginia, and they are in their 24th year. So next year will be 25 years since Project Lifesaver International was launched. What it is a search and rescue program for public safety agencies to quickly locate people that wander due to a cognitive condition like Alzheimer's, dementia, autism, traumatic brain injury, Down syndrome, any type of cognitive condition that would cause somebody to wander or make them prone to wandering. And we know that folks that are children and elderly folks that are suffering from these conditions, that when they go missing, and I know from my career in law enforcement, when we had a missing child or a missing elderly person, you had to find them very quickly because depending on the weather conditions, they're prone to injury, death, if not found quickly, that, they wander towards water. So we know that, when those vulnerable people go missing, we dispatch all of our resources, and, we need to find them as quickly as possible. So this program is is a tracking system. It's for public safety agencies, law enforcement agencies, to find these people. And the law enforcement agencies that are involved in the program, they have equipment, and they're trained to use this equipment to track down a client that's enrolled in the program through radio frequency. So clients that are enrolled in the program are fitted with a transmitter bracelet that looks like this. And it is run with a lithium battery, and they're fitted with it either on their ankle or on their wrist. And there is a radio frequency that is specific to this transmitter. And should that person go missing, then the the local law enforcement, wherever they're missing from, would be, if they are participating in Project Lifesaver, they would be equipped with the receivers, which look like this. Okay. So these are handheld receivers. Looks kind of like, archaic type of device, but it is tried and true, runs radio frequency that has been used for decades. Unlike GPS, this is not affected by radio frequency, is not affected by weather conditions, satellites, and different things that affect GPS, right? So should a client go missing, the caregiver would call their local police department and give the officers their transmitter frequency. And then the officers go out to their point of last seen and they start tracking the client down through radio frequency from their transmitter. And they can be tracked to their exact location, whether it's under a bridge, whether it's in a closet, they're hiding in a closet. It can even track several feet underwater. So that is the program Project Lifesaver. And back in, I'd say maybe 2010, the Pilot Club of Lancaster was looking for a signature service program. So one of the things that the Pilot Club did here in Lancaster, which everybody probably heard of, is they were very instrumental back in the 60s in implementing the Meals on Wheels program here in Lancaster. So they were part of getting that off the ground, and now Meals on Wheels is an entity within itself. Our Pilot Club members, we still do volunteer with delivering meals, and we give monetary donations through collections at our member meetings. But that was one of the big service projects that the Pilot Club was a part of here in Lancaster County. But back in 2010 or so, they were looking for another signature program, and they came across Project Lifesaver. And it took several years to get the funding and also to, convince the chiefs of our local police department, hey, we need this here in Lancaster County. We will gather the funding. We will do all of the client enrollment, and we will do the battery maintenance of the transmitters. We just need the police officers the departments to agree to participate and become a full member or associate member agency within Project Lifesaver, and train your officers and house the equipment and maintain the equipment to, to search for these people should they go missing. So back in 2012, our volunteers at the Pilot Club were able to convince the chief of West Hempfield Police Department, Chief Mark Puglisi, who is now retired, that this is a valuable service and a valuable tool for law enforcement to find these people, because law enforcement, if you get dispatched to a missing person, you are going out regardless. You are going out and looking for these people, and you are using all of the resources you have, whether they are the boots on the ground, your aviation, your search and rescue groups, your canines. You are deploying all the resources that you have because you're going out looking for these people anyway. So why not have a tool that you can find these people quicker? And receiver, average search times have been reduced from hours to 30 minutes or less.
Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So a lot to kind of rewind the tape on there. So yeah. I guess I wasn't really realizing
that this is my passion.
Yeah, sure. Well, that's perfectly fine. Yeah, I guess I kind of came into this thinking like Project Lifesaver was more about the Pilot Club putting together a bunch of volunteers and you would then just be activated by local police or fire to say, hey, we got to go to this region.
Yeah.
Total misconception. I didn't think there were any gadgets and tracking involved. And so the wearable piece, I guess, let me ask this question. So what is the cost for a family to participate? You say the word client, so that's what makes me believe there's a cost. Explain how that works. So if you have somebody in your family that has a form of Alzheimer's, dementia, or has an autistic child that is prone to run off, or another need that this may fit, how do you get started?
So if you are a caregiver and you are interested in having your loved one enrolled in our program, you would reach out to the Pilot Club of Lancaster. This program has a lot of moving parts, but the Pilot Club, we manage the enrollment and we manage the maintenance of the transmitters. That's our primary duty. So if there is a family that's interested in learning more about the program or enrolling their loved one, they would contact the Pilot Club. And I am one of the contacts for our Project Lifesaver committee.
So I'm curious, Kelly, actually a number of questions. How often does this occur? I mean, I hear, it feels like almost monthly, I hear a story or a news headline that they're looking for somebody. And often, I mean, this is maybe one of the great uses of social media and Facebook. And Facebook is what it is, but I do often see people sharing, hey, can you help us find this person? And honestly, I didn't know that the Pilot Club did this sort of arranging of or organizing and helping in this way. How often does this happen?
Well, let me just say we have currently close to 70 clients here in Lancaster County, and we know the need is quadruple that, right? Pick up a newspaper, scroll your social media. Like you said, you see these people going missing all the time. You see elderly people walking away from their homes, their caregivers. You see, children that wander off, and a lot of these are special needs children and folks with cognitive challenges. After COVID, we had a lot of families that are caring for their loved ones at home instead of sending them into, a nursing home facility. They're too expensive. So this gives the caregiver and the family just an additional safety net, a little bit more of a peace of mind. I mean, they have to have 24-hour care, obviously. And this is not a program for somebody that lives alone. But it helps give the families a peace of mind, and also helps law enforcement because they're able to find these folks quicker and using less resources. An average search for an Alzheimer's patient is about 9 hours. And a lot of those times they're not successful searches, right? They have either become severely injured or die, from exposure or any number of reasons if they wander away from their caregiver. And so this program also helps the law enforcement agencies because they can find these people quicker and using less resources. And, when you are mobilizing resources like volunteer fire companies and search and rescue groups, and you're requesting helicopters, they take time to gather and deploy. So this is something that the officer can carry right in their car and go right to the scene where the person was last seen and start searching. So when I found out about this program in late 2019, Troop J Lancaster, which is the state police barracks that covers Lancaster County, all of the municipalities that do not have their own police coverage, which here in Lancaster is 19 townships and one borough that's covered by the state police. So a majority of this county is state police primary jurisdiction. And it was my goal to get the state police in Lancaster participating in this program so we could cover the entire county. So most of the local departments are on the western and northwestern part of the county. They, like I said, initiated this program back in 2012. And currently, today, we have 20 police departments, including the state police in Lancaster, that are participating. So they have equipment and they have officers that are trained to use that equipment. And we can offer service. You did ask about a fee. We purchase all of the equipment from Project Lifesaver International. We have to, including the batteries, and we charge, the Pilot Club charges the families the cost of the equipment. So for a transmitter and the batteries and straps for 1 year, it costs $375, one-time cost. We ask the families, what they can give us, and if they can pay for the transmitter, great. If not, we don't turn any families away. And our goal would be, if our funding was unlimited, right, would be to offer this free to everyone. So maybe in the future, that's something that could happen. So yeah.
Kelly, did you?
Yeah, sorry. Obviously we record this here in our store. We have we're pedaling the bike here between all the stuff going on. I missed again what the cost is.
Oh, for $375.
Thank you.
Yep. A one-time cost, and that's just for the transmitter and the batteries and straps for 1 year. And so part of the maintenance for the transmitters and what our club does as a service is every 60 days, we go out and meet our families at different locations, and they're mostly our police departments around the county to make it convenient for the families. And we change their battery and their transmitter and just connect with them and make sure that they don't have any questions or there's, no issues or whatever. Sometimes we have to replace transmitters if they get damaged, or they get, if we've had clients that go to the hospital or go to some type of rehab facility, and then the transmitters get cut off their wrists and then they go missing. So we have to replace them sometimes, and we don't ever, pass that cost on to the families. But yeah, so what other questions do you have?
Well, we've had a couple comments come in from some of our fans. Pam Whitwer was on last week, and so she's very supportive of what you're doing. Wasn't sure of all your Pilot Club's details, but says she loves that it's an amazing program. Jonna Hoover Green, who was also on, she represents herself. She has her own financial advisory business through Edward Jones, and is also the president, I believe, of the Southern Lancaster County Chamber of Commerce. So she's got a question for you. How far can somebody go away from their home? How far does that radio signal carry?
That's a great question. So we do know that the average person can walk 4 miles an hour. So if someone is missing for several hours, they can cover a lot of ground. Our receivers that the police departments are equipped with, their signal will go, depending on the terrain, 1 to 3 miles, probably closer to 1 mile. And we do have a lot of rural area in Lancaster County, especially in the southern Lancaster County. We are exploring purchasing a drone attachment. Project Lifesaver International is going to be releasing that very soon. So any police departments or emergency management groups that have a drone, we can attach the receiver similar to what the handheld looks like to the drone. And then that will expand the search area 5 to 7 miles.
That seems like it would be a game changer.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah,
that's very cool.
We are waiting for that to come out at the conference. They have an annual conference, Project Lifesaver, and that's down in Orlando every August. And that hopefully will be released here beginning of 24. And I know that Lancaster County Emergency Management already has a drone, and several of the police departments already have drones. So it's just a matter of purchasing the attachment. And what the Pilot Club also does is we fund the equipment for the police departments, because we know funding is tight. We know manpower. There's manpower and resource issues. And I know when I brought this to my commander at Troop J Lancaster, the first question he asked me was, how much is it going to cost? Right. I had already figured that out. But the Pilot Club, we do all the funding for the equipment and the training of the officers in the county. And that's part of our funding as our fundraisers for the Pilot Club. There's Chief Saunders. He is the CEO of Project Lifesaver. So he created this program back in it launched in 1999. And he was with the 43rd Search and Rescue Unit out of Chesapeake, Virginia. And he thought, hey, we can track animals through this type of equipment. Why can't we track people? And then that's how the idea, came about. And they tested it on people that are prone to wander in the mountains of North Carolina. And they were able to determine, with this equipment, they were able to reduce the search and rescue time to 30 minutes or less average.
Yeah.
Do you have any information on how many lives this program may have saved since 1999?
Well, if you go on to Project Lifesaver, projectlifesaver.org, they have a running total of their rescues, and they are over 4,000 now.
Wow.
But we know that number is underreported because there are 4190. There are a lot of police. There's over 1,600 police departments in Canada and the United States that are participating in this program. And we know that not all the police departments do their reporting to Project Lifesaver International for their statistics, right? So we know it's underreported. So
yeah, but still, across a 10-year span, or you said 1999, so it's 24 years. You're talking about saving one person just about every other day is what that probably comes out to.
Right.
Or every 3 days. So really what a tremendous benefit to those families and to the community. And, I would venture a guess that if you really put pencil to paper, Project Lifesaver in a community would probably be a net neutral cost when you look at people often go missing. They never seem to go missing middle of the day when everybody's working normal hours, right? It's at the end of a day. They've maybe had a stressful day. Maybe there's something that happened. And so when you look at the overtime involved, the cost of launching crews with like ATVs and night lights and all that stuff, like how do we, when you look at that cost over here per incidence against the hard cost of a one-time investment of equipment,
I know.
I guess that's your job to try to help sell that, right?
Yeah. Where were you when I was pitching that to my troop commander? Because it pays for itself several times over with one search. Yeah.
And as we look we're nearing the top of the hour, but I do want to get this out. I know children with autism has grown. I believe I read a statistic as 1 in 84. And so this is something as time goes along, as these children are growing up, they're aging out of care. Parents are getting older. Maybe parents need care. The parents can't care for the child all the child's life, right? Yeah. So I'm guessing the need is only going to grow.
Yes.
And so that's something that I would put out to our community to think about and consider.
Yeah.
Maybe it's an investment for your own family. Maybe it's, an investment for your neighbor that you've often said, hey, if you need anything from me, let me know. Here it is. And I know $375 isn't exactly pocket change, but here are the kinds of things that are available that can truly help people that you may care about, that might be in your church, might be in your neighborhood, might be in your school. Just something to think about.
Yes, absolutely. And that's what I've been most of this year is marketing the program. The Barnstormers had a nonprofit spotlight back in August, and we did some marketing with the Barnstormers. Wonderful things they do for the community. But you don't really search out this information unless you are affected by it in your family, right? Unless you have a child that suffers from autism, or you're caring for an elderly parent that has dementia or Alzheimer's, you might not search out this information. But what I've been focusing on since my retirement is getting this out there to our Lancaster County community. We have this service. We have the entire county is serviced by the 19 municipal departments and the Pennsylvania State Police out of Lancaster. And, we have our volunteers that do all the maintenance and the enrollment and can answer questions for families. I go out to different clubs, groups, and do presentations on this program. I have one coming up next month for a senior citizen group over in Leola. I'll be doing a presentation for E-Town College in January. And so, just getting the word out is one of, our goals, and letting people know we have this resource available and it can save lives. Bringing loved ones home is the motto of Project Lifesaver International.
Yeah.
Kelly, you mentioned the community and volunteers. So people can volunteer with the Pilot Club and help with Project Lifesaver.
Yes.
Maybe you could talk about that and any other ways that the community can help.
Yes. So we are always welcoming new volunteers into our service club. Like I said, Project Lifesaver is our signature service program. And our contact information is on our Facebook, on the website. You can come to a meeting, see what we're all about. We meet at the Lancaster Tennis and Yacht Club on the second Wednesday of the month. And we do, our club does other service programs too. We're involved in Alzheimer's Walk. We do Brain Minders, which is a children's program that talks about brain safety. And we volunteer with the Meals on Wheels and still contribute to that program. So we do a lot of other service-related things in the club, not just Project Lifesaver, but that is our signature program.
And if somebody wanted to get more information on volunteering and supporting the Pilot Club of Lancaster or Project Lifesaver, is the website the best place to do that?
The website or Facebook page. Okay. We also have, I created a Project Lifesaver of Lancaster County Facebook group. And we are going to be in the process here very soon of changing our website and updating it. But we have that Facebook group for anybody that wants information specifically on Project Lifesaver. And we do have several fundraisers that the Pilot Club run throughout the year that support our programs and this program specifically. So one is coming up November 4th. It's our Fall Fest, and it's at the Effort Amvest. And that is posted on our Facebook page. And also we are doing a calendar raffle fundraiser for the 25 Days of Christmas, starts December 1st. I'll be posting that here very soon on our Facebook page. And then in the spring, our big fundraiser is our spring fashion show and luncheon. And that's at the end of, we hold that at the end of Leola Village.
Oh,
and
very good.
I believe it's May 11th. in 2024. And that's a really fun event. We do a fashion show and a luncheon, and we have raffles and things like that. So, so supporting our fundraisers then in turn helps us be able to continue to offer these programs to our community.
Very good.
Well, Kelly, listen, this has been a pleasure. Thank you for everything you do for our county, for those families that have loved ones that go missing. Obviously, that's never a fun thing. So thank you for bringing forth that great technology, a great force of people to help in that time. Thank you for everything that you do for Lancaster and its people.
And also thank you for 25 years on the state police force.
Yes.
We don't really talk much about that.
We didn't get to go there, but somebody who served 25 years as state trooper, I think has a basis of knowing what it takes to help find people when they're missing. And so yes, congrats on your retirement, 25-year career, and for your service. Thank you.
Thank you guys very much. Appreciate it.
You ready for a few connection cocktail questions?
Yeah, sure.
Get to know, always at the end of these interviews, I feel like we know our guests, right? But
that's right.
Connection cocktail questions dig a little deeper, right?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So we have different questions each week, and this is kind of an interesting one. What are two things you consider yourself to be very good at?
Oh, I am very good at time management and organization.
There you go.
Very good. Very good. If you could eliminate one thing from your daily routine, what would it be and why?
It's a tough one.
Oh, because my daily routine is so sweet right now, right?
Yeah, retirement lifestyle.
Yeah. Let me think on that one.
All right.
And do you have a favorite Lancaster County small business?
Oh, wow. Well, I am on the board of directors of the Southern Lancaster Chamber, and I love all of my chamber members and their businesses, and I patronize them as much as I can.
It's very diplomatic. Diplomatic.
Favorites. It just depends, if you're talking restaurant or
it's a tough thing.
Yeah.
It could be mattress store, whatever.
I was thinking the same thing. Yeah.
Are you a member of the Lancaster Chamber? Chamber?
Yeah, we're
not a member of the Southern Lancaster Chamber.
Well, come on.
Yeah. Love it. Well, listen, we've really much enjoyed our time today. Thank you for everything that you're doing. It shines through that you're passionate about it. And we appreciate that. And I know everybody else that's connected to you in the moments that they're connected to Project Lifesaver and the Pilots Club are appreciative too. So thank you.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you. All right.
I feel like we've got half of the Lancaster Chamber, Southern Chamber watching right now.
They show out, man. They represent
do like no other.
They represent. So yeah, love that. Love that interview. Really cool stuff that they're doing there at the Pilots Club. So if you have time to volunteer and anything that Kelly had shared caught your attention, be sure to reach out to them. We have all their contact information with this episode in the notes. If you need a formal intro, you can reach out to us. We'll make that happen as well. And so that's that. We still have to talk about a couple things going on here. Little reminder, we have our contest going for the Whip Roasters basket.
Oh, this thing is noisy.
Go to lancasterconnects.com/contest. Just begin the entry process there. Whiff is great. And you really do need to experience their fresh coffee, rich in flavor, great blends that they offer. It's not just one bland old coffee bean.
Right.
That I think you might get like at the quick fill.
Right.
You say?
Breakfast blend.
Yeah.
Which they have a good one of those, but
I don't even know that it's that per se.
Right.
It's coffee in its purest of definition.
Right.
Black and hot. If you're looking for something a little more fancy, Whiff Roasters has it. And you'll find them downtown Lidditz at their retail store, which is behind Sturgis Pretzel. Gee whiz. Or
tough one.
The Market at Wilbur. All right. And they've got some great things there. And you stop in here, we'll give you that free portion pack of pumpkin pecan. And they also have a nice little offer. I believe it's a, well, no, it is a pumpkin pack. What am I saying? Come into the store.
Yep. Come
get
free pumpkin, free
the pumpkin
pot of coffee.
Jeez.
Pumpkin pecan pot.
I am tongue twisted around the peas right now.
The other great thing about Whip Roasters is you can purchase Whip. I mean, obviously, if you can travel to Lidditz and visit the great town of Lidditz, either their roastery or their market, you can get Whip Roasters there. But you can also get it at a number of family-owned and operated markets around Lancaster County. I'm not going to mention them all, but you can go to their website and see where exactly you can get it. But local places like Stouffer's at Kissel Hill, Oregon Dairy, Village Farm Market, Fox Meadows Creamery, which has fantastic ice cream, Martin's Country Market, and even Shady Maple, who's going to be a future guest on the Lancaster Connect podcast. I feel like we should do it from Shady Maple and eat lunch while we're podcasting.
Get
Shady hungry.
Maple, all you can eat to go. Take containers,
boxes of food
home.
But seriously, patronize those locally owned markets. Give Whip Roasters a try at pick up your favorite packs of coffee.
I can't even speak today. Hey, people were asking how my eye is. It's fantastic. Maybe we ought to ask how my tongue is today. My goodness, I'm tongue tied. I was going to say I took Whip Roasters coffee to the campsite.
Okay.
Took some of the packs. And now we have fantastic coffee there too. So at any rate, so thank you. Betsy, you were asking how my eye is. Yes, it's okay. I have an ulcer on the cornea, which is not pleasant at all. A week of drops has seemingly fixed it. And I'll get the final verdict tomorrow as to what's next. Hopefully it's gone.
You haven't been winking at me today, so
right.
I feel like you're recovered.
I didn't do the George Costanza wink. So that picture says it all. I was not pleasant a week ago Monday.
I felt
not,
so bad.
Not pleasant at all. I was from the chair in the doctor's office. So not fun. Not fun at all.
And it just happened. It wasn't like something
just happened. Just happened. But what doesn't just happen is getting a good night's sleep.
Oh, so you don't just lay down and close your eyes?
No. So there are a ton of things you can do to poorly affect your sleep. And Ben and I were talking about this actually prior to the show. So we're going to be coming out with a list of things that are really awful and might answer the question of why sleep sucks for you. We'll be coming out with that list here soon. But if you want to break free of those shackles of bad sleep and bad habits, get our book. I messed up the point. There it is. It's right there. That one. We'll mail you a copy. Sleep Better. We'll mail that to you. You just go to gardnersmattressandmore.com/sleep-better. And we'll mail you a copy of that book. And it's chock full of great tips on how to build great sleep hygiene and get a great night's sleep. Happy to mail that to you.
We just mailed out a book the other day.
We do that
almost daily. So we got a review over the weekend from a gentleman named Jeff, and he worked with Chad in our show review.
Not me.
No, yes, not you. You did not buy your own product. Yeah, so, but you do sleep on gardening matches, so we all do, right? So Jeff worked with Chad, had a very satisfactory experience, very knowledgeable and pleasant to deal with. Gardeners had what I was looking for a reasonable and fair price. That's always helpful, right? They went above and beyond to offer a loaner mattress set up while I waited to receive my order. It's not normal course of business for us to do that. And I don't know everything about this person's situation. But often where there's a situation where somebody might be moving quick or, where there's a change of homes or whatnot, or guests coming into town where the people making a purchase and the mattress might not be in 2 or 3 or 4 weeks, but they need it. They have an immediate need. We may from time to time offer that level of service. So, it's something you're going to get from a locally owned business like us and nowhere else. So thank you for Jeff for the testimonial, and thank you for Chad for how he serviced our customer there. And I think that's it for testimonial time.
I think that's the show.
That is the show.
Oh, you know what else we have going on is our anniversary event.
That's right.
All month long, October. celebrating 33 years in business here in Lancaster County. 12 years of Ben and I owning and guiding the mattress store ship, so to say.
I like the ship theme. I thought you were going to go with bus, but you pulled the Pilot Club logo in.
See, but if you talk about it, it doesn't, you got to work on this.
I explained the joke and said the problem. At least we're mildly entertaining.
Yeah. Too bad that doesn't pay the bills for Lancaster Connect. At any rate, that makes me happy.
Yeah, Chris is
just as an Eagles fan, you can love what's on screen. If you're catching this on audio, our fantastic producer, Chris, knows my
unwavering distaste.
My unwavering dislike of the Dallas Cowboys. And they lost last night, so that was fantastic. And there's some great memeage that he's showing. So that makes me happy. But it also makes me happy when you visit for our anniversary event. So it's our 33-year anniversary event. Free gifts with every purchase. We've got some amazing gifts to give you as value-added gifts. Same great service. Great no-interest financing specials. So if you like to kind of have your money make money while you pay off your mattress bill, so to say, you can do that. Actually, now is a really good time to do that because you're getting 5% on high-yield savings accounts.
Got the $500 gas gift card?
Yes, this is very cool. So we thought, what more can we do to give back to our community? It's one thing that we ask consistently of ourselves. And so if you visit and bring in a non-perishable food item, you're entered into the contest. And it's very simple. 1 can or box of non-perishable food equals 1 ticket. 10 equals 10 tickets. 100 equals 100 tickets. Drop them in the bin. We pull your name here on the show Monday, November 6th. After the anniversary event concludes, we'll draw it right here on the show. You win a $500 gas and grocery gift card to the place of your choice. So if you like to get your fuel at Wise, where they have gas islands, you get it there. If you like to get your fuel somewhere else, you go there. If you like to shop at Stouffer's at Kissel Hill, we'll get you one there. All right.
So
really simple.
So like a tank of gas.
Well, let's not depress our people. Gee whiz, man. We need to send you to podcast host training. The point is to enrich and lift up our folks, not remind them of the weird. We're doing it because it's tough, but
That's
not.
True. Yes.
My goodness, man.
Look, Jonna says we're entertaining.
Yeah. Love it. But that's the point, right?
Yep.
We want to give back and fun little contest, but all along the way, we're doing something fun for our customers, but our customers are doing something great for our community with that food donation. And so that's what we've got going on. We're glad that we can make you all laugh. That's part of why we do this. It is fun.
I think this might be episode number 2 in terms of content or comment interaction to the Brett Michaels show.
It's been good.
Yeah.
It's been good.
Thank you for watching.
That's what we're here for. Comments make the podcast show go around.
That's right.
All right. Very good. I think all the business is done. We'll see you next week. Till the next connection on Lancaster Connects. Take care.